Today what you see is the College of Marine Science MSL Laboratories, Marine Science Laboratory building. The original structure, of course, was the United States Maritime Service Training Station. So where you see College of Marine Science today, that has had other names on top of it over the past. During World War II, it would say United States Maritime Service Training Station. Building was in many ways the heart and soul of the maritime base. It's really the last major structure, really the only major structure that remains from those years that's on the Bayboro Harbor campus. Men who came through this base between the early 1940s, late 30s, early 1940s and 1950 when it closed suffered a very high casualty rate. A lot of them did not come back. Where this parking lot is here, though, that is part of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, this was actually a site of a number of World War era buildings. So what you're actually looking at here, this was mostly wooden barracks. Most of the structures were demolished by 1990, although there were a few that were allowed to remain after that. By 1995, they were all gone. So these young men who fought in the war fought in a different way. They fought by protecting the shipping interest and keeping our shipping lanes open during the war years. There were U-boats out in the Gulf of Mexico during World War II, and some of them did get up as far as the Tampa Bay area. This pool is actually on the original site of the pool that was created by the Maritime Service Training Station during World War II. This was the site where they actually set the pool on fire, so young men who were getting ready to go into the Merchant Marine, the Maritime Service, would be able to survive the bombing of their ship, and they would know how to prepare for that. So a lot of what these guys did was help us prepare for the inevitability of battles on the open sea. This is one of the most important items on our campus to a lot of people who are in the Maritime Training Service. This is what is called a cenotaph. And what a cenotaph is a memorial to those who go out into the seas to protect us, to protect our well-being, to protect our security, and never come back. So from this spot here, which is today a very beautiful port, very nice part of the University of South Florida system, in an earlier year, it also was a place where a lot of guys came and prepared for a very important battle that helped to preserve our freedoms.
The Merchant Marines were important during World War II because they were the supply chain. They provided troops, they provided weapons, they provided food, they provided everything. And when the war was over, they provided transport home for literally hundreds and thousands of men and women, not only folks that came back here under the Marshall Plan, but also our civilian service as well. If it wasn't for the Merchant Marine, during World War II in particular, there's really no other way of getting that volume of ammunition and infantry to the war front, which of course was in nations abroad and in multiple nations abroad. It was very difficult and it was very dangerous to be a Merchant Marine during World War II. They suffered the highest casualty rate of all the armed services, even though technically they're not considered an armed service, only in times of war. And that's actually their motto, in times of peace and war. And that is the times that they serve us. The Merchant Marine were actually non-combatants. They were not allowed to carry weapons on board. And as a result, they were sitting targets, really, for the U-boat or the wolf pack of the German military. As a result, what Roosevelt decided to do was place naval armed guard on the merchant ships in order for them to, and also provision them with weapons. Many of the Merchant Marine vessels were retrofitted with weapons from the U.S. Navy in order to protect them at sea. the bravery of the men in the Merchant Marine, and many of them, if you interviewed them today, men that served in the Merchant Marine during World War II would tell you it wasn't bravery, it was guilelessness. They were 16, 17 years old. Many of them lied about their age in order to get into the Merchant Marine, in order to serve in any way that they could to support American interests during World War II and to create an environment for democracy worldwide. Could we have won the war without the Merchant Marine? Hell no.
I lost quite a few friends I went to school with because they were on different ships, and some of them was sunk. I had one friend from Tampa. Of course, he died here recently, and he was attacked on 2 different tankers, lost 2. They was torpedoed. I know when a ship got torpedoed, a lot of times the whole crew was killed, you know, went down with the ship, and that's the way it was. Trained at St. Petersburg, Florida, and like I say, we was over there. It was a 9-month course, and I went in, but the war broke out, and men was leaving the ships so bad, sinking. They were sinking them too, and they just quit going to sea. A lot of them did. So they shipped us on out. In other words, put us on these ships as replacements. What it was. In 3 months' time, in 42, May, June, and July, I believe it was, of 42, they torpedoed or attacked 27 different merchant ships in the vicinity of the mouth of the Mississippi River. People never hear about this, see. They don't publish this, and you take these guys see these ships sinking at night or burning it, and you get afraid and they wouldn't go back to sea, you know. We got a little scared at first, you know, but it's just an everyday occurrence after that. We wasn't that brave, but we just didn't know no better. Yeah, we had a lot of good memories and we had some bad ones.